what you want, when you want it, where you want it. This is The Mesh.
Hey everybody, this is Dr. Matt, and this is Take Back Your Health podcast, where we talk about all things health and ways to help you be the best version of you. Hey everybody, this is Dr. Matt, and this is Take Back Your Health podcast, and I'm here with a very special friend of mine, Miss Callie Pierce with Pierce Acupuncture. Welcome.
Hi, Dr. Matt. Hi. Thank you for having me on. I really appreciate it.
And you, how long have you been an acupuncturist?
Well, I got licensed earlier this year, so I would say it's been about 6 months.
Okay, so you're fairly new at it.
Yes,
I know you had just opened up your own practice, but I wasn't sure how long you've been an acupuncturist. So Awesome. Well, before we get started, kind of explain who you are, where you came from, a little bit about yourself, and then we'll dive right into it.
Yeah. So, my name's Callie, and I was born here in Hickory, North Carolina. I went to the old St. Stephen's Elementary School that is now a Walmart, for anybody who remembers that. And I've just always had an interest for anything related to doing anything with my hands. So I went to school first off for music, but then kind of felt like I needed to expand my world a little bit. So then I joined the military. I was in the Air Force for 6 years, served as a linguist. And then after that, needed to use my GI Bill for something and stumbled upon acupuncture. And, well, honestly, the rest is history. Here we are. Yeah.
Well, you may have told me that, but I feel like I've just met you for the first time. But also, well, we're so glad to have you. So let's dive right into it.
Sure.
What is acupuncture?
Yes.
Explain that, because I know there's been a lot of people that know about it, that hear about it, and I myself know about it, but I don't know a lot about it. But explain what acupuncture really is.
Absolutely. And that really honestly is the biggest thing. It's just a lot of people don't understand. And that's totally okay. I was the same. So really, before I tell you what acupuncture is, I got to start by telling you what Chinese medicine is, or traditional Chinese medicine, because that's what I'm doing here.
And that's the difference. And we'll get into that later about dry needling and all that, and how they're different. But not Chinese. Acupuncture is based more in Chinese medicine versus westernized, which is what dry needling is. So
yes, sir. You got it. So traditional Chinese medicine is a system of medicine which was discovered, created, evolved through more than 3,000 years of just empirical evidence and observation of how the human body works and how nature works and how we fit into the cycles of nature. And so it takes the whole body into consideration when you determine diagnosis and treatment. So we're talking temperature, diet, digestion, sleep, emotions, all of it.
Kind of how chiropractic works.
Exactly. You know how it is. And so we put all of those things together, and that is traditional Chinese medicine. And then underneath that umbrella, we have acupuncture, and that is, I suppose you could call it the bread and butter. And so acupuncture itself is the insertion of very fine, thin, stainless steel, sterile needles into specific parts of the body called acupuncture points. And those acupuncture points lie on what we call meridian lines, which traverse the body, kind of like latitude and longitude lines encircle the earth. And the purpose of acupuncture is to insert the needle on those points to affect qi and the flow of qi in the body to elicit a healing response and well-being.
Qi, energy, all
yes,
that stuff. Yeah,
exactly.
And that's usually what I do when I explain to patients, because when we can go ahead and skip right into that, about the difference between dry needling and acupuncture. Because that's what I deal with. You do dry needling as well, I believe, or no?
Well, it's a little bit different. We call it rather... what we call it is like an Asher point, so an ASHI. It's kind of an ouchie spot.
I thought you had told me that you did dry needling, but I do dry needling in my office, and the way I usually explain to patients the difference is what you just said. Dry needling is more of sticking a needle into a trigger point, and releasing it, versus I'm not trying to reset the energy flow of the body. So
that's the big distinction.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We'll use the same needle. It's just done a different way.
Yeah, and so like acupuncture can do it can treat external issues, but internal as well. So like digestion, sleep, things like that, emotions. Yeah.
But it can also affect other issues like neurological issues, like Parkinson's, multiple sclerosis, all those kind of things that I can also help with, but you do it in a different way.
Yeah.
So going back, you said acupressure points, trigger point. explain kind of a little bit about that for people that might not know what an acupressure point is. 'Cause
Little
your
bit
body
more.
has several.
Oh, yes. A little bit more about the points in themselves in general. Yes. So in acupuncture, we have over 300 acupuncture points, and I'm going to kind of use those terms interchangeably because we can do acupressure, and we can talk about that later too. But there's over 300 on the body. There's at least 100 in the ear, some extra points. So we're talking over 400 different spots on the body that can trigger changes in the function of qi. And they figured out these points honestly just simply by way of, like I was saying, observation, by touching a part on the body and noticing that it causes a change somewhere else. It's honestly hilarious to me sometimes because I love it because, like, the meridian lines that I was talking about earlier, that's what the points lie on. And for example, the large intestine line runs up the finger, up the forearm, or up the shoulder, and up to the face, ends by the nose. And the number of times I will put a needle in the beginning of the large intestine meridian, and then later on in the treatment, the patient's like, oh my gosh, my nose is itching. So observing those things, but they also figured that out by way of observing the connections in muscles, fascia, tendons, nerves, things like that. And so, did that answer your question?
Yeah. No, it did. I was just listening to you talk. No, it did. It's fascinating because to me, it's like a big game of operation.
Yeah.
You got the little. Like,
It is, yeah.
You know, no, but yeah, it's. I know because it's fascinating because I know with patients sometimes. I used to work with a chiropractor and she was also an acupuncturist, and I learned a little bit about it from her because I'd never experienced it before then, and she did a lot of sinus work on me with the acupressure or
Awesome.
acupuncture. And it's just pretty cool how you'll stick a needle somewhere and you'll feel something somewhere else. It's kind of hard to explain. It's almost like voodoo.
Yeah.
Which is weird. No thing. I joke
it's
with
cool.
Callie all the time about that. But no, it actually kind of works in a way like that because people, I know with like, pregnancy is another big one because if a woman's not going into labor or they'll usually there's some spots on the feet that you can play with, and that can help to stimulate that.
They see the points in Chinese medicine as sort of like if you compare the meridian lines to a stream, then the acupuncture points are little areas on the stream where energy kind of get trapped, and it has a little swirl, like a vortex kind of thing. And if you put something in it, it can change the flow of the whole tire. So that's kind of a little bit more of a nature metaphor for you.
No, yeah, but it's just kind of interesting to explain to patients how if I stick a needle into this part of your hand, it's going to help you be able to fix your constipation.
Yes.
It's kind of hard to land that plane for some people, but it really does work. And it's one of those, like, you have to try it in order to experience it. And getting into that, like, what are some of the issues that you typically see on a regular basis?
Sure.
Or like, if I wanted to make an appointment with an acupuncturist, what are some common issues and what are some issues that you didn't think about that you came up with?
Okay, yeah, a good question. So the main things that people come in to see me for are pain management. Yeah. Musculoskeletal stuff. Yep.
Same.
You know, you got your neck pain, shoulder pain, knee pain, back pain,
headaches,
all that good stuff. But less common, well, still pretty common, but not as common are more emotional issues. So we've got stress, depression, anxiety, things like that. Let's see, things that people don't normally consider. Okay, well, for example, this past week I've been treating a new mother. She's got a 10-month-old and she's got insufficient lactation. So that's not something people would normally think that acupuncture could help with, but yeah. And then another thing, we're going into cold and flu season. A lot of times you get sick, you're feeling a little tickle, and you don't want to go in. You call and cancel your doctor's appointment. But acupuncture is really good for strengthening the immune system and helping to kick that cold to the curb.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, but you also, well, give me a couple, because another example, you said that you had a patient that was having trouble walking.
Yes.
And you actually helped her to not have to use her cane.
Yes.
So that's pretty crazy. So
yes.
Tell me about that story.
That was honestly amazing. She came in and the doctors have told her that she's got arthritis in her right knee, and she came in with severe pain in that knee, and it had been present for about 8 or 9 months. And she's been using a cane, and that's got her really frustrated because she loves to walk. She loves to go shopping. And so we gave her a treatment to help with the knee pain and to support the underlying pathology, which is the arthritis, which of course I'm not going to cure. I'm just going to help mitigate. Yeah. And so she brought her cane in. She got up off the table. I said, whenever you're ready, meet me at the front desk. And there she was, and she was running. And she said, I'll be right back. I have to use the bathroom. I said, honey, where's your cane? Mm-hmm. She was so surprised. She said, oh my gosh, I forgot it. I haven't used it. I haven't forgotten to use it in like 9 months. And it was just an awesome moment. We really,
yeah. But that's a great feeling to be able to get a patient that hope and that results that nobody else can give them.
Yeah.
I have those experiences sometimes too.
Awesome.
I know when I tell patients if I'm struggling to help with an issue, if it's not getting any results, that's when I'm like, okay, maybe I need to refer you to somebody else. And I love to refer to acupuncture because like massage is a great referral, PT, but sometimes acupuncture provides things that nobody else can.
And vice versa. Chiropractics,
Now, getting into that, what do you do with patients that typically don't like needles?
Yes.
I myself hate needles, but dry needling is different because we're not drawing blood. We're not using, we're not doing any kind of that. But I still have some patients that refuse to let me get near them with a needle.
Yeah.
So what do you do for patients that want to try acupuncture, but they don't like the idea of being poked with a needle?
Right. So it falls into one of two categories. Obviously, it's all based on consent. So if you just don't want needles, we won't do it. On the other side of things, if eventually you feel like you might be comfortable, we can take it easy. I've got really, really thin needles, some that you really don't even feel at all.
You usually don't feel them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But are there ways that you get around without using the needle? Okay, that's what I was getting towards.
The patient that I've been treating for insufficient lactation, she won't let me needle her, and that is totally fine. Absolutely fine.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So we've been using acupressure. And moxibustion. And so there's other modalities. Sticking needles is not just the only tool in my toolbox. We've got cupping, tweena, gua sha, exactly, moxibustion, all those things. And so we can use them. Psych.
No, I know. I've heard of some of those. Some of those I haven't heard of.
Yeah.
But the difference between acupressure and acupuncture, obviously, is you're inserting a needle, but acupressure is more of like just holding a trigger point spot.
Yes.
What was the other one you said? Moxibustion?
Moxibustion.
I've never heard of that.
Moxibustion is amazing. So it's where we take an herb called mugwort and we burn it. Yeah, we burn it over. Yeah. It's or sometimes we call it motherwort because it's really tonifying and comforting and warm like a mom would be. And it just helps to increase blood circulation and the flow of chi throughout the body, but it just tonifies the whole body. It just feels really nice.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And there's like, do you use it to rub on? How do you?
So we have a lot of different forms. It can be in loose form, where I just pack it up like a cone, stick it on top of either a slice of ginger, some salt, something like that, burn it down, then scoop it off.
You're really getting into the ginger.
He said, now we're really getting or we...
Now we're really putting on the voodoo hat.
No, it's good. I know. I'm like, what do I? Don't scare everyone off. No, but then the most common one that I use in my clinic is it's tightly packed moxa rolled up and kind of into the shape of a cigar, and then you light it. You don't put it on the skin, but you hold it a good couple inches away, and it just provides that heat.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So, how often would you say that you would need to see an acupuncturist? Like I know for chiropractic, for me, for wellness care, I usually recommend, twice a month, once a month, something like that, unless I'm actively treating an issue.
Yes.
So for you, how do you go about treatment with patients? I guess obviously it depends on the issue, but what are some average care plans for you that you typically see for acupuncture?
So this is a real big it depends kind of answer. Yeah. It depends on the age of the patient. It depends on how strong their chi is, the resources that their body has to work with, and you can feel that in the pulse. If it's not very strong, there's a lot of deficiencies. We might need to treat that first for a little bit. It depends on what they've come in for, just like you mentioned. So, for my patient with the insufficient lactation, or for example, if I had a patient with a sprained ankle, you might just need 1 or 2, maybe 3 treatments spaced out twice a week or something like that. Yeah. And it also depends on if an issue is chronic versus acute. If it's chronic, usually my rule of thumb is, and this is not a hard and fast rule, but it's for however many years you've been experiencing something, that's about how many months. Now, that doesn't mean if you've been suffering from something from 10 years, it's going to take us 10 months necessarily. But that's kind of, about how long we can, and things like nerve issues, those take a lot more time. It just really depends.
Yeah.
And then sometimes, sometimes it, like with arthritis or Parkinson's, things that we can't cure, once we get you to a point where you're feeling good, then you enter like a maintenance phase.
Yeah.
So you know that. Yeah.
That's what I was getting into. For example, you don't do you have to have a problem to come see an acupuncturist?
No, you do not.
I was about to say, because you don't have to be in pain to try to fix something.
Exactly.
It's like preventative.
Yes.
I want to call it, because that's where chiropractic comes in. But for acupuncture, is there like, I guess if you're just like, oh, I feel off or I just don't feel right or something like that. Like, what's a typical like wellness case?
Sure.
that you
Yeah.
deal with?
You could come in and say exactly that. You could say, gosh, I've honestly just been having a stressful week or something like that. Or I've been feeling really angry. Traffic's got me all kind of wound up, It was after Labor Day and traffic was crazy. Anyway, something along those lines. Or you could, I've even had patients come in to see me just for a tune-up in between seasons as the seasons change, just to get, going into this cold and flu season, strengthen the immune system ahead of time.
Yep.
Stuff like that.
Believe me. That's why I try to tell people all the time, you do not have to wait until you have an issue to get it fixed.
Yes, sir.
If you prevent it, you won't usually have it. But, not everybody understands that. But, yeah. So, is there any, I know we covered a lot, and we can probably talk for hours about
sure.
the science and everything
Oh,
behind it, but what are some things that you have found in your experience that people might not know or you want to tell people just as before we wrap things up here? Some common misconceptions or just anything that you want to just disclose to people that might not know acupuncture, might be thinking about trying it but have been kind of nervous or don't really know if I qualify or, things like that.
Bottom line is, if you're curious and you're just not sure, or if you've tried everything else, or if you don't want to try a certain thing, like if you don't want massage or something like that, just give me a call and we can talk about it. And the other big thing is, does it hurt? That's the big one. And I'm not going to tell you that it's pain-free completely, but, the way we put the needles in, it's quick. It passes that nerve layer quickly. So most places you don't feel much. Yeah.
Is it going to hurt? I know I feel that because I have patients that tell me that all the time. I hear, I'm scared. I'm too scared. I'm too scared. I'm like, what are you scared of? Feeling better? Like, no, but yeah, is it going to hurt? I'm like, not more than you came in. Right?
Touche.
No, but yeah. So that's good to know, because I know sometimes with new things, especially more holistic things like wellness, acupuncture, chiropractic, massage, things like that, sometimes people are more turned off by that because it's not the norm, I should say.
Yeah. And it's not covered by insurance.
Well, that true. But then you've got people that don't like that. Like I've got patients that come into me and I'm like, you've got a really bad knot right here. I think I need to refer you to a massage therapist. Like I don't like massage. I don't like people touching me.
Exactly.
I'm like, well, I get it. But then maybe we should send you to an acupuncturist.
Sure.
Well, I don't like needles. I'm like, well, I'll
right.
just get my thumb and elbow in. So, yeah, you have to be able to adapt to people because not everybody is going to fit that model. But
exactly.
It's good to know that acupuncture is a good realm that you can use. When I can't get results on an issue, I can send them to somebody like yourself. So before we wrap up here, kind of tell us where we can find you, how we can get a hold of you, if we want to make an appointment, where you are, things like that.
Absolutely. So my clinic is Pierce Acupuncture, a sharp way to heal.
I love that. I love that. Baby, I'm sorry. Restart that. It's fine. I just love that.
My husband told me I couldn't use a pun. He said, "This is not Bob's Burgers." And I said, "Watch me." But anyway, so I'm located off McDonald Parkway. If you're driving away from Hobby Lobby and 70, the mall area, just past 40, if you know where Optimal Man is, I'm underneath that. And my website is pierceacupuncture.com, and that's acupuncture, ACUPUNC. There's 2 C's. TURE. So I know that's a wonky word to spell. And then my email is the same thing, pierceacupuncture@gmail.com, and my phone number is 828-234-6510. If you guys are curious, email me, call me. My website's got a lot of information.
Felt like I was an episode of Sesame Street there for me when you were spelling. But do you have any social media, Facebook,
I do.
Instagram, all that? Yeah.
I do have a Facebook. I do not have an Instagram as of right now.
Got to fix that.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you coming out and taking time to explain us to
Absolutely.
the realm of acupuncture. And like I say, if you have any questions about how to get a hold of Callie, or you're thinking about trying acupuncture, please give her a call. She will be happy to help you.
Yeah, and again, thank you, Dr. Matt. I really appreciate your time.
Absolutely. If you'd like to learn more about what you just heard, or if you're interested in scheduling an appointment to see how chiropractic can help you, visit our website at newdirectionschiropractic-nc.com. Be sure to follow our social media page for more information on how to be a better you.
You've been listening to The Mesh, an online media network of shows and programs ranging from business to arts, sports to entertainment, music to community. All programs are available on the website as well as through iTunes and YouTube. Check us out online at themesh.tv. Discover other network shows and give us feedback on what you just heard.